Playing poker is the ultimate adrenaline rush, the biggest mental challenge, and the greatest Oscar performance you'll ever give. I'm Roxanne Ciordia, and this is the PartyPoker.com European Open 3. The best players from around the globe are all chasing the same dream, $125,000 and the European Open 3 title. There's no room for fear or recklessness around the table, and with only one seat remaining in our first semifinal, it's all or nothing for our 6 players tonight. We head over to Jessie May, who's joined by Swedish poker legend Ken Leonard.
I'm here with Ken Leonard. Now, Ken, you're called a Swedish poker legend, but it's not just because you've been around a long time.
No, it's because I behaved in a very strange way sometimes, I guess.
I mean, in Sweden, you're considered the voice of poker, or Mr. Poker. What do you think the secret is to this one-table, six-handed game?
I think you need to feel the flow of the game to see, not, okay, he's playing tight, everybody can see that, but when he's going to make the move, who is he going to make the move against? You got to try to call the guy's move before they make it.
And what kind of player impresses you the most on these sort of tables?
The guy who can change gears and adjust their play to their different opponents.
Well, let's have a look at who's going to be sitting at the table tonight.
Texas Tim Flanders going to be giving it a spin. He's due for a win. Ashley Hales, they call him the Bear, and it's no wonder. Widely regarded as one of the best players from Wolverhampton, Captain Jez Bailey. David Smith, Londoner. He's got a lot of experience on the felt, as does the magician, Howard Plant, who makes his chips disappear. And the bookie's favorite, highly popular Scally John Calmer.
These players are itching to get started. We go over to the table as they get ready to walk on.
The woolly mammoth might be an extinct species, but these 6 poker players all fighting for life in the PartyPoker.com European Open 3. One of them is going to go through to that semifinal stages. Very experienced lineup, including Tim Flanders, Ashley Hales, Jez Bailey from the Midlands. A lot of these guys, experienced poker players, world-class poker players, waiting to break through on that big stage. Is this their chance? Jonathan Scally, he might be the favorite based on form and results alone. Of course, in this format, players start with 100,000 each in chips. The yellow chips are worth 1,000 apiece. The blues are 2. The reds worth 5K. 600,000 in chips on the table. You must win them all to go to the next round. We are off. Blinds starting at 1 in 2,000. Tim Flanders on the button this hand. Action will be on David Smith, who believe he's making his second televised. Wow, I was right.
Got the Cowboys.
Cool.
And he's limping in. What do you think about slow playing these big pairs?
From time to time I like to do it, but since I'm an aggressive player I don't like to do it too much because they're disguised by your aggressiveness.
Well, David Smith obviously hoping for a raise behind him. He hasn't gotten it. Now
this is the problem. Early in the tournament people like to see flops, so that you're likely to get a flop against a lot of opponents.
I mean, he has to be prepared to throw him away now. And up, the worst could happen, and it did.
Now, he needs to be prepared to lay this hound down against 3 opponents.
Well, Jonathan Scally has flopped the 3/8, and he's just checked it on the flop here.
Ooh, 4 of a kind.
Would you like to say that David Smith might be out of this tournament?
Yes. I can't see how he can fold this one now.
5,000.
It seems like it's just going to be a question of how much money Calmar is going to get in. I mean, Scally's just calling here, and there's no way that he knows how strong Smith is.
That's true. I mean, his slow playing is probably the right move a lot of the times, but this time he should play it really fast to get all the chips in the middle.
The pot's 18,000. David Smith is drawing dead to 4 of a kind.
An ace is the only card that can help him.
Yeah,
To scare him.
It hasn't come. I mean, if you're sitting in David Smith's spot right now,
You like your hand, that's for sure.
5,000.
That's a ridiculous bet. That's a totally ridiculous bet. I mean,
Raised to 15,000.
I just wonder if Smith is going to call a re-raise here.
Call. Okay, James.
okay, he got out of trouble, but I don't understand how he played this hand. Slow playing, fine, I can accept that, but then you need to start betting at some point to get some chips in the middle.
Slow playing has subtleties all its own. Heed the advice of former world champion Phil Hellmuth.
So you want to slow play a hand? That's fine, just make sure you don't bust yourself after the flop comes down. I like to slow play aces and kings sometimes, especially if I've been doing a little bit of calling. If I've called once or twice and someone's raising behind me, then that's terrific. I'm going to just call with my aces. And I think that slow playing is a very effective way to build big pots. But when you slow play, you want to bet big on the flop to find out whether your overpair is good or not. If you run into a lot of resistance, then be prepared to get away from the hand. You slow play a hand to get action. You don't slow play a hand to go broke.
It's just a case of if you'd known he'd got kings, you'd have raised a bit more, wouldn't you? Stupid, I should represent you.
It seems like in this format, Ken, you know, you don't get that many opportunities. You have to make the most of the ones you get.
Absolutely, and
Pass.
yeah, I don't like this at all.
Pass.
Like I said, I like to play tight in the beginning, but sometimes I like to charge and make a lot of raises. But against these guys, you know they're just going to play fast. So it would have been the correct move to raise big with kings.
Well, speaking of playing fast, Ashley Hales speeding from the button with the Queen 7. There's a lot of fast players at this table, but I think Ashley Hales is about 7 miles faster than any of them.
Yeah, just look at him. I mean, you can see a mile away. He can't fold the hand. He's just gonna play fast and bully the table. He bullied it. He bullied the other pupils in school. He bullied the other guys at the office, and he bullied the girls and the boys at the nightclubs. He bullies everybody, so he's gonna bully here as well.
That is his style. He's a lovely guy, but you're right. He likes to push.
Raised to 6,000 total.
And here comes Calmer.
This is interesting.
Call.
Tim has chosen to just flat call there. I mean, he could have done a lot of things. What do you think of the
No, I
flat
like
call?
that.
Call.
Pocket nines is a good hand, and
Pass.
you have chips, so why
Pass.
not get the best odds to try to win a monster pot with low risk?
I guess sometimes early on, you don't want to get too many chips in too early.
I'm only calling with this filth in case I flop the nuts.
This pot is 4 ways for 6,000, and I
Check.
think Ashley Hales is going to be in a bit of trouble here. He's out-aced.
12,000.
Yeah, he's gonna lose a lot of chips. And
Pass.
Tim Flanders, he had a good hand. He didn't invest a lot, and he can fold easily now. He escaped out of trouble.
Call.
Calmer's bet 12,000. It's flat called by
Pass.
Hales. Does Ashley know where he's at right here? Do you
No,
think-
no, I don't think so.
Does Calmer?
He's supposed to have the best hand. Actually, he can't actually have ace king because he would have re-raised pre-flop against 2 opponents.
Check.
Well, Scally
Check.
has checked it, and Ashley has checked behind him. Perhaps a mutual respect here. These guys are going to keep
I
the
don't
pot
know.
small.
There's a flush draw out there. There's a big pot. You need to take a stab at it. Protect your hand. Oops, that's the 9.
Sure is. That would have made Tim Flanders.
15,000.
And now Scally's come betting 15,000. Well, Ashley's not going to fold.
No, he's got an easy call here.
Call.
And he escaped. Could have been a lot more expensive.
What's saying, Scal?
John, Scally Calmar getting the benefit of some big hands early.
Yeah, but he made the same mistake twice now, not betting enough. You need to make the opponents pay when you have the monster.
He's got 175,000. Is it going to be enough to dominate?
No, not against these players.
You feel like this game should be four-handed right now.
5-1. I thought check it. He might have a bet. I thought he might have a
Down has been all Jonathan Calmar so far.
But the other guys, they don't care. As long as they have a
Pass.
chip, they're not going to be dominated.
Pass.
Yeah, I mean, Hale's the short stack right now with
Call.
68,000, but
Pass.
that's plenty right now, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Call.
I remember playing with
No
Devilfish. He had no chips at all, and all the other opponents had monster stacks, and he's still dominating the table.
Mostly with the verbal, probably.
Yeah, for sure.
Limp in from Jez Bailey with the pocket threes, and look at this. 2 flush draws are out.
This is a monster flop again for Jonathan. With this hand, a flush draw and a pair. It's a draw hand, and you need to
Check.
play it fast. You need to play it fast, John, on the
Check.
flop.
Howard Plant, his best cards right now would be the 9 or ace to make a straight.
Yeah, he's gonna flush draw and a straight
5,000.
draw.
Called.
Does seem like Kalmar could have made this pot very
This
big.
is ridiculous. They both got very good drawing hands. They need to play it fast on the flop.
Check. 10,000.
No, that 7 has given Scally 2 pair. He's not going to get paid off,
No,
is he?
no.
Pass.
I'm glad I didn't check raise like I was hoping for somebody to bet. Have a look at these.
This hand, if Kalmar would have bet the flop, the
Pass.
plant would have checked raise him, and we would get all the chips in on the flop.
It's interesting because the last time Jonathan Kalmar played in a TV tournament, he absolutely dominated the table, won something like 20 out of the first 26 hands, and
It's a fabulous show.
this is how it looked. But you feel, Ken, like he may regret the fact that he doesn't have 300,000 right now.
If I would have gotten those cards, I would have 300,000 right now.
Remember all that money I put in your post?
Successful internet player Scally made a big live win on a poker cruise last year of $170,000, and he'll be one to watch tonight.
Have you ever dreamt of playing poker with the big boys in Las Vegas? Well, here's your chance. You could win a holiday for 2, including flights, accommodation, and £500 spending money. All you have to do is answer this question. Who won the World Series of Poker in 2006? A. Phil Hellmuth, B. Jamie Gold, or C. Gus Hansen? You can enter by going to www.5.tv/poker. Entrants must be over 18. Competition closes at midnight on the 22nd of May. Find out who's next to go after the break.
Welcome back. We're still a full table of 6 here at the PartyPoker.com European Open. You know, this is a very experienced table. I mean, as far as this tournament goes, overall, these
Pass.
6, while maybe not known as superstars of the
Pass.
game, if you're on the circuit,
Call.
you know, every
Always.
one of these faces, they're all very capable.
Raise.
Use that button, innit?
To 7,000
This
total.
is very dangerous. The plant on the button with a real hand.
Call.
That can cost a lot of chips.
No one will expect it. I think Howard's raised this to about 8,000.
7,000 total.
A total of
Call.
7,000, pardon me. And he's going to have plenty
Call.
of action.
Yeah, you always get plenty of action if your name is the plant.
4 ways here. 10's good right now. And look at this.
Yeah.
Kalmar's hit again.
It's just walking on water. Poker is so easy sometimes.
10,000.
Why is he let out here?
Pass.
He doesn't have a good kicker. He want to define his hand and find out where he's at.
Pass.
I think it's a good bet.
Now, can the plant get away from it? There's one thing that Howard is known for, and it's
bet, innit?
not doing his chips early.
Good bluff that.
Pass.
He says good bluff. How can it be bluff against betting out against 3 players? There's no
that's-
chance in hell that's a bluff.
So that's
Obviously,
the
don't
key.
find
That's
good enough
the
times,
that's
do
the
they?
clue. That's the clue that he should take.
Yeah.
And he's made the right decision. And Kalmar
Yeah.
takes another one. This is how the ranking of the hands work. Bottom of the ladder is high card only. Higher than that is 1 pair. Above that on the ladder is 2 pairs. If 2 players have 2 pairs, it's the higher pair that counts. 3 of a kind is often called a set. A straight is 5 cards in a row of any suits. Aces play high or low in straights. A flush 5 cards of the same suit in any order. A full house is 3 of a kind plus a pair, and everyone's looking for that 4 of a kind. It's self-explanatory, but rare as a diamond. A straight flush is 5 cards in a row, all the same suit, and top of the pops is a royal flush, which is a straight flush, ace high.
If you look at the guys, you see John and the plant, they look quite the same, and with the round bald head and small glasses, and David actually looked like their daddy, so maybe that's why the plant folded, because he respected his daddy.
Who's the daddy?
David's the daddy.
Pass.
Cool.
Call.
Ashley Hale's flying in. He's
He doesn't like it being short stacked.
no, it's it's only been 10 hands, and Ashley's lost half his
Call,
stack.
no raise.
I'll see it on TV.
It's no fun. Must be scratching his head and thinking, I promised myself on the car ride down here I wasn't gonna do this.
Not bluffing away half the chips in the first pot.
Check, check.
But this is a chance.
5,000.
They've all missed the flop. And
I like
Hale's-
this bet. Middle pin straight draw representing the king. If somebody's got a 9, he's got 2 overs with the middle pin straight draw. I like this bet.
Far better
Pass.
than taking a free card.
Absolutely.
Pass. Howard.
Do you want a picture of your face through the glasses? So
It's just I don't want anybody, you know. It's not,
You want the face shot.
I just want to see a face shot of me with a winning hand.
Next game.
call.
This does have the feeling of one of those games where it's not going to
Call.
take too long to lose
Pass.
a player. It's not a lot of back down in these guys.
Yeah, but they played like little schoolgirls on the flop, so I'm very disappointed. Now you see just Bailey limp in with a weak ace again. This is a big mistake. He needs to
raise.
learn that you can't play like this on this level.
Yeah, he's limped in behind Ashley Hales as well. Ashley's
Look
got
at nice cards. I want to see
pretty
the flop.
big ace, but this is a 5-way pot. Only David Smith hanging his head in shame for not being in. Interestingly
Check.
enough,
Check.
the flush draw of Ashley Hales the best hand.
6,000.
Nobody's got a. Is that a?
That's the Hayes. He's got the flush draw
Pass.
and 2 overs, so I think this is
Pass.
a great bet once again. It's not such a big chance that anybody has
Pass.
hit this flop, so this is how you should play big draws on the flop. You bet it and you take it. You don't check it, check it, check it.
And I mean, Ashley Hales is. I guess if he got any action, he would have reckoned there was a 5 out there. But he's taken this pot down and
It was a 6 or a 5. I had.
didn't even need to hit his flush.
It was a 5. I thought I was beaten anyway.
Hales is a lovely guy, but his nickname, the Bear, is well deserved. He lets it all hang out, and one of those guys where you want to play dead. If you see him, run. Check out all you need to know about poker on our website, www.5.tv/poker. You can find out all you need to know about how to play the beautiful game and test yourself in our quiz to see how good a player you really are. Plus, there are news for the tournament and details of the players.
Should raise it.
We've seen it twice already, Kenna. I feel like that one of the ways this game has changed is when people
Call.
limp, the small blind,
Pass.
people raising out of the small blind, it
Call.
never used to happen a couple of years
No
ago.
raise.
It's trends in poker, and that's the trend now. Back in days when I played, you know, a check raise on the turn, that was the mortal nuts. Now it's always a bluff.
Couple limps here, 3-way action,
Check.
and
Check.
Howard Plant, who's in the big blind right now,
6,000.
has flopped middle pair and a middle pin.
Pass.
You know, it looked like Howard was moving his
Yeah.
chips to go, and it would have
Call.
been a great move.
That would have been the move to make. He's playing very passive. I don't understand. I don't recognize him. Maybe this is an imposter.
6,000 and called. Okay.
I know Howard can move
Check.
the chips.
Oh, he's tough, the bear. He's gonna make another bet.
10,000.
Tell you, one thing I love about Ashley is he does not back down. I mean, you don't not find him checking it on the river.
The problem with this bet, it's there's a lot of drawing hands there, and they get almost the proper odds to call here. So it's he should have bet more, maybe like 15,000 instead of 10.
way Howard is looking right now, he doesn't believe he has the best hand.
No, he looks like he's gonna fold. But he wants to call.
Oh, the move all in would be so strong right now. Although he has waited quite a long time now.
Called.
And he's called. And it seems like the only question here, if they both miss, which they're likely to, is will Hales go for it on the river?
Probably not. Takes a lot of big bear claws to do that.
Hales bluffing, needing a jack to win.
Or a king.
No, that's Howard's
thinks.
card.
Jack. Jack. Okay, gentlemen.
He checked.
Queens.
Well, we'll never find out what Ashley was planning on the river.
Yeah, I know.
Howard Plant has got there. And this kind of feel like maybe what Howard was waiting for to get back in the game. He just got a bit of luck there, Ken. You think we're going to see the real Howard from now on?
I think so.
Looking at the leaderboard, Ashley Hales and Howard Plant have swapped spaces. Howard moved from the cellar up into 4th position, but no one has won very many pots except, of course, Elmer. Blinds are up now, Ken, to 2 and 4,000. This game doesn't really need any help to help the action along. I mean, there's been plenty of action already.
Yeah, and there's been some big hands as well. The big slick for the bear. He needs it. He's got
Call.
no chips at all. Almost. Oops. Problem
gotta
for
be
Bailey.
That's really
Right.
a bit unfortunate for Jez Bailey. I mean,
Yeah.
looks like he's thinking about re-raising. And, I mean,
He's
as many...
supposed to re-raise with his
Really?
hand.
Only saying that just made it blind. He's done more than half. So
I think
yeah,
he did
exactly
half.
half.
So that
He's done more than half. It's
You know,
exactly.
as many hands as Ashley Hales plays, it's nearly impossible to put him on ace-king, isn't it?
Yeah, and he doesn't have a lot of chips compared to the blinds. He's one of the low stacks, and the
Raised
bear's
8,
got
call.
even less, so he needs to move with ace-queen and
Pass.
put the pressure on the bear.
Possibly contemplate.
Obviously, the bear's not
Pass.
going anywhere.
I could contemplate the line, but not under the
Yeah.
Pass.
That's it.
Hales had made it 8 under the gun,
Call.
and Jez Bailey has just called, which has brought Tim Flanders in from the big blind. Tim Flanders playing a
Check.
10-4 has now flopped.
All in.
Oh gosh!
This is so classical. Hales really wanted action, so he made a small raise, and he got more action than he wanted, and now he's dead.
He made a minimum raise, and
Yeah,
I-
I see this so many times. You're desperate for action, and then you get what you want, and then you're out of the door. This would have been...
look at
Oh,
this.
he's thinking about calling.
Well, Jez Bailey is looking at Ashley. Ashley is looking at Jez, and Tim is trying to pretend that he's in the toilet right now. Tim is saying, "Don't worry about me. I'm not in this at all."
Fold.
I'm just gonna check my 3/4 once more, and then I'm gonna call you.
Tim was trying to pretend he was in Tallahassee, but Flanders has 3 4s here,
Oh.
and this is. I think we're about to lose our first player.
Yeah, you need 2 straight clubs.
What about
And
ace, king, king, or club?
you know, Ashley Hale's such an entertaining player. Pleasure to watch, pleasure to have, but nothing went right for him today.
Raise that
Oh.
raise that.
Off the stage.
But he can only blame himself. He made mistakes.
Ooh,
Ooh, the club.
He's got outs.
Not this way. Not
Any
the 10 of
club
clubs, for God's
that is
sake.
not a 9 or
Not the
10.
10 of clubs, that'll be sick.
That gives him about 7 outs.
What,
One
you want
time.
the 10 of clubs, you later?
Any old club will do me.
Oh, dear.
Well done, boys. Well done, boys.
Ashley Hale's taking the early exit.
See you
And,
later, fella. Good luck, Skip.
I guess it's just
Are you hanging around?
the problem with this format. You don't get the opportunity to do anything, even slightly.
Well, the most important thing, you don't have the chance to make a comeback if you make a mistake. So you need to play mistake-free poker, which is not the easiest thing to do, of course.
And Tim Flanders raking them. The 10-4. Big benefit.
Pass. Pass.
Folded around 2.
Call.
Jez Bailey on the button.
Pass.
And limping in. Bailey's... He's got chip
Nice.
trouble here right now.
Yeah, you need to be aggressive.
And
Limping on the button is not the right way to do it.
button against
You'd
the
have
big
raised if you had
blind.
9-4, wouldn't you? I'll check.
Check.
Howard Plant would love a free card to try and hit his
Check.
straight.
He's getting ready. I know it's going to be there. 5,000.
You know,
Five to call.
you were mentioning that this doesn't seem like the Howard Plant. You know, this is not the Jez Bailey that
What?
Call.
I remember.
Well, he called with king high. That was pretty good. You know, Howard is probably bluffing.
No hearts.
I think Howard's gonna try to steal this one.
There's 20,000 in there now. Plant's
7,000.
bluffed once. He's bluffed
7 to call.
again. Shirley Bailey. Oh, this is
He
good.
must have got 9-4.
How did he pick this up?
I'm in trouble here, don't
No, I
I'm in
think
7.
the Plant's reputation precedes him.
Call.
Howard saying, this is the first time I've gotten out of line, and I've gotten raised. And it was a rebluff.
Yeah, it was an excellent call by Jess. I'm impressed. But the thing is, the Plant, he's been bluffing for 10 years, so now he plays tight for 5 hands, and I think he has a tight image. I mean, who is he kidding? It's ridiculous.
Howard saying, nothing going right for me tonight. Back to the drawing board.
Howard Plant pick up the kings.
I'll raise. 5.
9 in total.
Tim was watching Howard like a hawk, and this is why it's a bit of a decision for him. Is that the right one?
Pass.
Yeah. I mean, Jack 10 suited, that's the
Re-raise
hand
all
you
in?
really want to play, but the blinds are high and the raise are also pretty decent, so you don't want to commit too many chips.
Jez Bailey has run out of patience, and re-raise all in. It's a nice move, but bad timing, I guess.
It's probably the right move against the right guy, but was not the right time this time.
Yeah, I mean, Howard has shown a
Oh, we're
willingness
four,
to
I'm out.
fold.
What's he got there, sweetie?
Oh, I think these two have developed a bit of an antagonistic relationship on this table.
This also
And-
shows why Flanders cannot really call with the Jack 10, because this
Too many?
guy's behind him yet to act, so he can be blown out of the pot.
40, 42 in total.
42. Oops.
The
Is that 42 total?
In
So
total,
that's,
yeah.
I think the
Let's just count
situation
this.
here, Ken, is that Jez Bailey's going to be all in.
10,
Howard
15,
Plant's going to have a few
25.
back. And this is
That's,
really big
38.
trouble for Jez Bailey because we've seen one ace folded.
40. I'm still in, I gotta call you.
And we've seen 2 diamonds fold as well, the Jack 10 of
35.
diamonds.
Yeah, I have to admit, this
It's
is
a lot
a...
more, cool.
Some people would consider what Howard's doing right now a bit of a turning the knife in the wound. I mean,
Yeah, it's not beautiful.
Only a pair of queens, impress me. Oh, got a chance.
This is
42.
a bit like taunting. I think this is bad poker etiquette from Howard
Good
Plant.
luck, Thank you, sir. Yes.
but there are 5 cards to come.
Oh, there it was.
Oh, it's the ace!
And diamonds as well.
My
That's
gosh.
unlucky, isn't it? He only got the nuts flush draw as
That's,
well.
He's not smiling anymore.
no, this is hard stuff for Howard.
He's flopping.
I know. This is-
Oh,
if
I
it's
can win with a
if it's
jack.
king, you can win.
Give me a black jack or a king. Ah, dear me. Nice hand. I'm not out. Sit down.
You won.
You won.
Actually, I was wondering if to call with me.
Now the plant needs some water and some fresh air.
That hurts. That hurts. Howard Plant, long known by every gambler from Bournemouth to Blackpool.
Well, I come from a long line of fighters. My granddad was a wrestler, my father was a boxer. My 2 brothers were trouble causers. I guess you can say I'm not the sort of person to be messed with. I did the Ultimate Fight Club and all that, you know, never lost a fight. But I thought poker was a much easier option. I've got so much money that if you fell off my wallet, you'd seriously hurt yourself. like most poker players, you want to win. That's the goal, to win. It's not the actual physical amount of money, although the bigger the amount, the better. It's actually to win that turns you on. If you look at the whole of it, in life, you're going to encounter death, and death is probably the worst loss that anybody can have. I've had death in my family, and I can assure you losing at poker doesn't mean anything. I'm not taking any money with me. If I can spend it before I die, enjoying myself, having a good time, perhaps making other people happy, trust me, I've had a good life.
Well, it's been one-way traffic so far, but these guys can put the brakes on, Calmer. Flip Smith and Wesson on, because it ain't gonna be over till he goes home. The blind's up now to 3 and 6,000. Howard Plant has 6 of his 16,000 in right now in the big blind, and he must be steaming right now, having those kings cracked. Would you say he's going to
15,000
call with
total,
a
pass.
huge range of hands
Yeah,
here?
he's committed here.
Pass.
But he forgot about the
Pass.
first rule of poker. You needle the player after you won the pot, not before.
Yeah, you know about that.
Look at that face. That's a poker face.
Howard's actually not in bad shape right here. 10 jack of clubs. Not a horrible hand to be all in with against the ace queen. Trailing, but only slightly.
Yeah, he's got roughly some way about 40% chance.
Plant all in, needing help.
No help.
It's going to be one of them days.
It does look like it. Some days the bear gets you.
I think that 50 quid, that 50 quid I won in the green room was the unluckiest 50 quid I've ever won.
You really think Calmer's gonna lose an all-in situation today?
Wow.
But you got the hearts for...
It's made things more interesting, and ironically, it would make this even more painful for Howard if the heart, the queen, or the ace pops. And tell you what, for the basis of an interesting game, kind of glad we're going to get to see more of Howard. He is providing a lot of the
Don't worry, you'll get him this hand. Thank you.
a lot of the excitement on this table. Howard Plant, long known by every gambler from Bournemouth to Blackpool.
They call me the magician because I can make money disappear. So when you play with me, you just be careful with your money.
You're 3,000 there, Jess.
I say, why do you keep finding those kings, but I don't know if you get one of them. That's what I'm...
Oops. Oh, wow.
Call.
Oh, well, he's taking your advice here, Ken. This and no one will put him on this type of hand right now.
Exactly.
Especially after showing the kings the last hand.
Pass. Pass.
Will Jez Bailey fall into this trap
Call.
here? No, he slipped it.
No raise.
I wonder if he's picked
This
up
is
straight.
interesting. The flop.
Oh, wow.
Just keep on slow playing here.
Howard's not going to bet in a million years. He's flopped
Check,
the nuts.
check.
3 queens.
All checked.
He's scared to even open his mouth. This is the quietest he's been all night.
But he can lose now with a jack
Check.
in the river.
Check.
Just check here, Howard.
It's very ominous all of a sudden how silent the table has gotten.
6,000.
That's, if you want to bet it, you want to bet the minimum.
Don't
So
worry,
he's
mate, you
doing
give it
the
away.
correct thing.
Well, David Smith does have outs.
Bailey thinks
Bailey's
he's got
none,
outs.
Right.
Pass. Pass.
And
How can I win this comp?
that is a bit
Can I bet
gut-wrenching
3,000?
for him. Poor guy.
Can I bet 3?
You don't want to call her. You don't want to call her.
Ken, I will say, sometimes showing cards is good, but that time it's actually only giving reinforcement to Jez Bailey and David Smith that they did the right thing, isn't it? You don't want to make the other players feel good. But poor Howard just feeling like everything's against him
Oh,
right
he's
now.
done still here, not the first time.
Well, he's not far off from.
Would you like to jet off to Las Vegas to play poker at the Bellagio, shop at Caesar's Palace, and overlook the city from the stratosphere? You could win a holiday to this amazing city, including flights and accommodations for two, and £500 spending money. All you have to do is answer this question. Who won the World Series of Poker in 2006? A. Phil Hellmuth, B. Jamie Gold, or C. Gus Hansen? You can enter by going to www.5.tv/poker. Entrants must be over 18. Competition closes at midnight on the 22nd of May.
Well, they did a lot.
They missed loads.
Did they?
I believe this is Howard Plant's button. Action on Jez Bailey. Who
Pass.
is one of those
Pass.
guys who does
Cool.
seem to
Pass.
really be
Call.
back in this game now. I wonder, has Kalmar taken his foot off the gas a little bit here, or is...
No raise.
Oh, I think he's just picking his spots, doing quite nicely.
Flanders given the free flop? And
Check.
Check.
a couple of spades on
Check.
board again. This guy's playing it very cagey. Might be a good spot for Kalmar to bet.
Check, check.
Yeah, if your opponent checks, I mean, it's always a good spot to bet. Not anymore, though.
6,000.
Is that maybe a defensive bet?
What?
Oh gosh, no, Tim's gonna go. Tim's not
Yeah.
going for it at all.
Re-raise, please.
He raised up 12 more, 18 total.
Yeah.
Call. Okay, gentlemen.
I'm playing the board, I think.
What do you think of that raise by Tim? What was his thought process?
It's very surprising, and I kind of like it, but it was not the right time. But I like it. It was very original and surprising, and that's most times very good.
Re-raise with
I mean, the fact that the raise wasn't very big, I
I
guess he was trying to make it look like a raise that was induced, that was wanted to get called.
And Kalmar didn't show much strength, so
Midway through the first level, this looked like a two-horse race, this heat, but all of a sudden now you can see both Howard Plant and Jez Bailey, David Smith for that matter, all deciding they have a
I can't
chance in
see.
this
No,
one.
I can't see David Smith having a chance,
Listen,
unless he changed gears, of course.
Does seem like he's gonna
What's this?
Cool.
Thank you.
Just
Call.
calling.
limping in.
Chinese poker.
Is
Pass.
Howard Plant with the King 6 of clubs.
Playing all day.
I guess the
yeah.
players will be aware that he's done this with a very
Call.
He'd have to do what he did.
No
Yeah,
raise.
that's one of the advantages of limping is that the opponents notice, and then you can limp with the not so good hands to get to see flops.
yeah, he's done it with queens. Now he's done it with the King 6. We're 4 ways here, and looking at all the hands, I think it's both players, Flanders and
Check.
Bailey in the blinds, have
Check.
hit a
Check.
12.
pair of eights.
12,000.
Excuse me, Tim's on the button.
I think we're gonna see the importance of position in this hand.
Right. Bailey could have won this hand from the button too, but not from the small blind.
It's a whole different ball game.
Pass. Pass.
And taking it down is Texas Tim. Very experienced on the table as Flanders, and quite a character as well.
I play different ways on different days. Sometimes I take control of the table. Sometimes I'm very quiet. The last game I played, I was very serious. That's still a form of control. You're still trying to control other people's attitudes towards you. My wife plays, as everybody knows, and she on TV, on the short-handed game, she plays what she calls bare-knuckle poker. I try and finesse it, which sounds crazy that we're kind of reversed in male and female roles, but her system works.
Sure does. Pippa has just recently won the Party Poker World Open title. No small feat, but the skill runs all the way through the Flanders family.
My daughter entered a free roll. She's not a poker player and doesn't play much. I mean, she's studying law and going well with that. But she did win a seat onto a TV game, and with Elo sat in front of her, she won her heat, her semi situation, heads up, and then won the final, the whole thing. And then this year, my wife took that lucky charm, and as everybody knows, won the World Open Party Poker. So I have kidnapped Timur, and I'm going to use him today. Hopefully, he doesn't just work on girls. Hopefully, he'll work for guys as well.
Donkey or not, the time is right for Tim Flanders to hit the winning post. He's been knocking on the door and braze. It might be now.
When the police asked you what happened, you said you got mugged and you nicked your
Cards
cigarettes.
coming
So he
out.
said,
It'll
"Would you
be
recognise them
Captain
again?"
Bailey
He
on
said,
the
"Yeah."
button.
So Benson and
First
Edges.
action on the
Martin
chip
told
leader.
me
Scally.
Is that not true?
Okay, Howard, you're going to need to put slightly.
Oh, I don't want to
More
put more
than
in with
that
this hand, do I?
Not much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Cool.
This is the
Pass.
first time Kalmar's limped in under the gun, I think. What's his plan? What's his thoughts?
Well, he's playing every hand. David Smith is David Smith is on the big blind. Wow, Howard Plant finds another hand.
We don't limp limpers.
Aces in the big blind for Howard. How much does he have to raise to get the right kind of action?
Forget about that. How many high pairs can you have in 1 hour? I mean, I never had this card distribution in my life. I mean, I always thought Howard Plant is a lucky guy because he sure as hell can't play. But now I'm getting upset here. What kind of freak is this? Aces, kings, queens. It's ridiculous.
He has had.
And he's got a nice shirt as well.
To be exact, he's had kings 3 times, queens once, and now the aces.
It's bunk beds. Grandma's gonna kill you.
In only 46 hands.
I'm gonna raise 9.
9,000.
Now, did anybody buy it?
He's got the chips to call.
Call.
And Smith has to like his
Call.
cards right now. This is great news for Howard Plant.
Great news, because when Kalmar called, Smith had an easy call as well.
Does Howard have enough not to go all in on the flop, or is it pretty much automatic all in on the flop? Depends.
Depends on the flop. Look at Kalmar. Flop. Top pair with the middle pin straight draw.
I feel like Howard's going to be all in here. Action's on David Smith first, though.
Check.
Good luck if you've got it.
All in.
I'm all in.
All in.
All in over the top from Jonathan
Pass.
Kalmar. He's got
Pass.
plenty of
Pass,
outs,
please.
but Howard Plant is leading. And this is a big pot right now.
Especially for the
Good
plant.
call, 9,000.
I've got a straight draw as well.
I know that.
This would be the first time Howard can get back over 100,000 since the start. And if a 7, an 8, or a 9 comes, he's a gone pecan.
Spades as well.
Shut up.
And a spade as well. He's got a million outs now.
Queen,
Yeah, he
please.
certainly does. It's well, it's still 60-40, 36.
Yeah, you are.
But
Oh, then don't start now.
Kalmar's thinking, how can I miss? And he did.
It's a straight.
Oh, straight over
The
here.
hand held
See
up
how the
for
cream
Plant.
floats to the crop.
He played that a treat, did Howard, taking a page right out of Phil Hellman's
so
book.
quick, I just couldn't believe it.
This is such a beautiful tip that I'm going to have to charge you to learn it. So I'm going to assume that the check's in the mail from you guys at home. When you make a bluff and you get caught making that bluff, sit back in your chair and remember exactly how you put the chips into the pot. Remember exactly where your hands were on your face, if anywhere. Remember if you were leaning backwards or forwards. And sometime in the next half an hour when you pick up a powerful hand, bet it exactly the same way. What it does is it sends signals to your opponents that you're bluffing. They can't help themselves. They're trusting their own abilities. You get to trick them. So when you have that strong hand, make sure you bet it exactly as you did when you bluffed earlier. That's going to screw up their instincts. They're going to say, he's bluffing, he's bluffing, he's bluffing. They're going to call you and you're going to say, I got it, thanks for the chips.
Blinds up to 5 and 10,000 now. Kalmar still ahead. He's been there since hand number 2. But is he being dragged back into the pack?
No, I think it's the opposite. The blinds are going up, so the other goes at it against each other and, catches up.
does a player like Bailey right now, does he
That's the
have...
jacket, Tim. Is that the same one?
Can he stick half his stack in and not the rest of
Yeah,
it?
I've got 4. This is the
Yes,
other one. Red one, blue one,
but not with this hand.
that's right.
Basically, if you start putting chips in the middle, you're committed. But I mean, if there's tremendous action
all in.
behind you, like a raise and a re-raise and a call, then you can fold. But
Not here. I mean, Bailey limped looking for action. He's got it, but not with the hand he wants to get action against. It'll be a straight race if he calls here between him and
Pass.
David Smith.
of course,
Call.
he
On
calls.
the backs.
I mean, there is obviously a good chance that David Smith could have something like Ace Queen or Ace Jack.
No,
Yes.
we're talking about Dave Smith here. it's a high pair or it's Ace King.
It is
Can
David.
never ever be Ace Queen, Jesse.
Well, it is David Smith all in. And this is most of Jez Bailey's chips and all of David Smith's. And this is not good news for Jez. He will be very short stacked unless the Ace or King hits.
7-3 or 7-D.
Or a spade. Ian Fraser likes to say the turn always makes things more interesting. It has here. And that is a killer river card for David Smith, who's out in fifth. Ken.
He was playing too tight. I'm glad to get rid of him. Let's have some guys who play poker.
Jez Bailey will certainly put those chips to use, but just no love for David Smith tonight.
There you go on, see?
Looking at that hand one more time, it was a straight race. Smith was in the lead on the flop and the turn, but the ace on the river made a big pair for Jez and got him back in this game.
These players' nerves are being tested tonight. There's no prize for coming in second. To get into the semifinals, they have to win. Join us for more poker action after the break. Welcome back to the PartyPoker.com European Open 3. There's still plenty of action to come. We go over to Jesse May and Ken Leonard.
There's a lot more space there now.
4 ways now. And it does feel, Ken, like we haven't gotten to see the best of Jez Bailey yet tonight. So the fact that he's got chips now, I mean, he'll have no one to blame but himself from here, will he?
I have a feeling he can play the game. I saw some glimpse of it, but you know, he's got the thing with the plant.
He does.
Yeah, and you know, you can never let poker be personal,
Call.
even if you're playing against the plant.
Howard Plant, he's got 96,000. He's limped in here with the King Jack. Is this dangerous, or is it good
Call.
to try and spend 10,000 to see a flop here?
No,
Oh my goodness.
he's the guy with the.
If I remember rightly, you dealt in the ace
I mean,
last
I would
time.
have just moved with the King Jack. There's only
Pass.
3 opponents, and if he can pick up a lot of chips and
Call.
increase his chip stack with 16%.
Pass.
Well, Jez Bailey raised out of the big blind with the ace-9. He lost Plant and Tim, but has picked up a caller in Kalmar on the button.
I'm very surprised with that call.
It's just a factor of chips here.
I guess I would never call with Jack 8.
Kalmar is watching Jez intently. I mean, it seems pretty straightforward that Jez is going to bet and win here. Is there anything more to it?
Yeah, he could check here and try to get Kalmar to bet it, because
25. Pass.
maybe Kalmar's got a tell on Bailey or something, and that's why he called with position. Otherwise, I can't really understand why he called.
These two, Jez Bailey and Howard Plant, played a bunch of hands against each other already, but now that David Smith is out of the middle, they're not going to get out of each other's way.
Peas.
Tim Flanders, he loves this.
Pass.
You know, they going at it against each other. He just sits back and look for good cards or good moments.
Yeah, Tim has been just sort of the man that everyone's forgotten about all night long. He loves that.
Yeah, he's the guy to look out for. I'm telling you that.
A limp in from Jez Bailey on the button with the jacks. Howard Plant's got a big hand from the small blind, and this is three-way. This is very dangerous with jacks, isn't it?
I think so.
Seems to have worked so far.
Check. Check.
I mean,
15.
Pass.
just wonder
Pass.
if that limp
Massive, this hand, look at this.
had more, by Jez Bailey, had more to do with him trying to set a trap or not wanting to overcommit.
No, that was all about the trap. And I'll tell you what, it was about trapping the plan.
New chip leader of the 196,000. When you think back, Jez Bailey was pretty much an afterthought early on. It just looked like he had no way to win this game.
I think, to be honest, I think that girl's magic.
To find out how to be a dab hand at poker, go to our website www.5.tv/poker and watch some tips from the pros to help you out in our exclusive video tutorials. You can catch up with the latest from the tournament news, info on the players, and enter our competition.
Sure. I'm single, I am. No,
This is on telly.
He just realised he's on television.
Yeah, that's the line that you...
Oh my God, the cameras are here. Oh no!
That's the line that you use in the discos, isn't it?
You will be single after this is shown.
I mean, no, sorry, I was joking, seriously.
So he wins a few pots, and now he wants to get a new girlfriend.
He's making apologies to his wife.
Well, sometimes poker is fun.
She's standing out here with a fry.
Raise 25.
About to hit him over the head. There's been a raise by Howard Plant on the button and a quick call by Scally, Jonathan Kalmar.
Make a name for yourself.
Pass.
We got game now. This is exciting to watch.
Yeah, I mean,
we got action, we got flops, you know.
It's the big blind.
Kalmar is right. Plant doesn't have anything, but Queen Jack suited.
This is interesting.
Check.
Obviously, Plant is going to represent the ace.
Does he have to move all in here?
No.
15.
Ooh, he got check raise.
Oh, I knew I should have checked.
Wow.
Kalmar is absolutely sure that Plant doesn't have an ace. He just knows his queen is good.
Oh.
Impressive.
How did he know?
He must have a tell with the Plant. I think the Plant is talking too much and showing. He showed all the good cards, and now maybe Kalmar says he doesn't have anything at a few hands, and now he did that thing. So maybe he picked up a monster tell.
Because, I mean, it did seem to me that a lot of players would have folded that Queen Jack in the small blind. Kalmar called so quickly, it was like he knew it was good.
And he check raised on the flop with just 1 second. He didn't even think about it, just moved in. He knew exactly where he had Howard Plant.
It did seem like that. They might have telekinesis.
Oh dear. I'm all in.
Correct move. He needs to move now. He doesn't have enough chips.
Yeah, Howard Plant did half his stack bluffing and will now do the other half,
46,000.
getting his chips in the pot first.
Kalmar knows this. Oops.
I'm all in.
It was a correct fold by Kalmar. He knew he probably had the best hand, but it was too risky to call with that position.
Because of the people behind him.
Exactly. And it cost a little bit too much.
I'm in bad shape here.
Kalmar has made some very good plays of late, but Howard Plant now
It's not
all
often
in.
I put my money in from behind, but
He's doing the old stand-up trick again.
You're stuck out again. You're trying to moan it in
Shut
again.
up, I've got to moan.
And,
when he's even got the ace of spades, don't put 3 spades out.
72-26.
Took 2 out and then put it on the river.
Oh, hello,
Two
darling.
spades.
I need a 9 or a spade. Don't make any mistakes.
I tell you,
Quick, Scally, how many outs
like
is that?
Howard's going to end up in the box with us here if he misses the spade.
Come
No,
on, baby.
hey.
Oh, that? No. Why?
Get new glasses, Plant.
Twit. Come on, baby.
It's been a long run here for Howard Plant,
And I look before anybody else.
but it looks like the end of the road.
It has been a pleasure.
It has been a pleasure. You kept the table alive for sure.
It's up to you,
And,
buddy. All right, well done, Tim. Good timing.
I'll tell you what, you do always know when Howard is still here,
I
but
wasn't even
now
there.
he went quite suddenly, 2
Thanks
hands.
a lot.
I have a tell on him. When he bluffs, sometimes his glasses gets foggy, but we didn't get to see that today.
Right, good night. Good luck, everybody.
Here's our
Bye.
Back to Blackpool for the Plant. That leaves us 3 ways, and Tim Flanders has just been a silent assassin tonight.
5 and 10.
Howard, you're out in 4th place tonight. What went wrong?
I just can't believe it. I got dealt kings, 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 queens. I flopped a set of queens. I had aces. Every hand I had. I can't complain that I didn't get dealt with cards, but my timing was shot really bad. Unfortunately, I made a decision. My wife's in the shopping mall with the credit cards, so I either made a move or I saved myself some money by going home early. I made a move, and unfortunately, Tim had a better hand.
3 ways, and it couldn't be closer, Ken.
No, this is anybody's game, and all 3 of them have shown some good moves, so it's very close. But if I have to pick one, it's Tim Flanders.
He has been avoiding getting his chips in disrepair. We'll see if he can carry it forward.
Jump on the line to get this pick. Try and finish it off by the way.
Brandon Block was saying in Jez's day he was quite the party animal. Break dancing, nightclubs, and for Brandon Block to call someone a party animal, one of the celebrities, most famous DJ
No worries.
in this country.
So if a famous DJ call you a party animal, then you pretty much are a party animal.
Yeah, well, it's a pretty good compliment, I think.
Check. 15.
It's kind of like the devilfish calling you a big gambler.
Yeah.
There was a bet from...
Check.
Or
Check.
Phil Hellmuth calling you a crybaby.
that would be even worse. Oh no, look at this. Flanders knuckled the turn, and now Kalmar has caught and
25.
passed him on the river. And did Tim make a mistake here by checking the turn, or was it just a bit unlucky?
Absolutely, it's 2 flush draws out there. You need to
Set
protect
of
your hand.
fives.
That was kind of could have been the tide who turned here.
It's a big pot.
Yeah, and if Flanders bet the turn, he wins it, and then he really sails away as a chip leader. Now it's almost even
Glad it
again.
was the 5 of clubs.
Not only that, but Scally had lost a few pots in a row. It was starting to look a little weak around the edges, and now he's chip leader.
And smiling.
Called him the evil eye.
Not staying for too long.
Call. Right, it's 25 in total. Call.
We're
Call.
looking at a very important pot here.
We are, and this is the second time that Jez Bailey has made this move and raised so small, it's only served to build the pot.
Yeah.
Out of position, Ken, it just seems really foolhardy.
But now you understand why.
He's got a huge hand.
Yes.
He's got a massive hand, and he might catch Tim Flanders, who has a lower pair and a lower club.
Yeah, I don't like it at all, raising small from out of position, but this time it worked out well.
35 to call.
Kalmar's not going to move, but I mean, is there any way the Flanders can get off this?
Fold.
He's got the flush draw and the pair, so
35
his
total.
hand looks pretty good.
Call.
And he's chosen just to call. Little does Tim know, it has to be a queen or an offsuit 5 here.
The pot is already 145,000. It's a very important pot. That's actually a good card for Flanders, because now he can slow down. And if he gets too much heat, he can fold, knowing that he doesn't have the best hand. A check here is perfect.
I mean, it's hard for, isn't it hard for Flanders to put Bailey on the club here? Bailey could have anything, couldn't
Yeah, so he needs to see what Bailey does and act accordingly. That's why it's good for Bailey to check now. I mean, if he's beat, but he's going all the way with his hand, that's for sure. So he might as well check. And give the guy a card.
Well, Bailey thinks like you,
30.
and that was a great check. It's induced an informational bet from Tim Flanders, I guess.
But now it's time for some acting for Bailey. You know, pretending like I don't have a club, but I have a king. So, have you really drawn out on me? Bailey, he's giving it his best, but he doesn't have a good poker face. I like him, but I can't give him a good poker face. I really can't. If I were Flanders, I would already fold it.
Call.
I like this. I think Bailey's playing spot.
Move.
He's playing stop and go, isn't he?
Calling here is perfect.
And he's going to move on the river.
Maybe.
Question now, will Tim figure this out? It does seem...
The right move here is to make a small bet, like a pro bet. and induce a call from Flanders or even a raise, like 30, 40,000, something like that.
There is 205,000 in the pot. This pot seems destined to go a long way towards talking about, oh, a check.
Check.
Yeah.
I think he's dogged it. I think Bailey's gotten too scared of the ace on the river there,
Yeah.
Ken.
It's good.
Yeah, he will learn. In a couple of years, I think he'll have a better poker face, and then he will be a fearsome poker player.
What a pot. Jez Bailey taking 200,000 down. He now has half the chips in play and has whittled Flanders down to nothing. They call him the captain, Jez Bailey, and it's long been rumored that he's the best player to ever come out of Wolverhampton. I think his treats are on display tonight. Very tricky poker player, here to win as well. Lines up to 7 and 15,000 now, and Jez Bailey, Captain Bailey, is in charge.
If I got you on a low club, I might move it, but I think you've got high cards.
It's a raise from the small blind.
Raise 27,000
I think this is
more.
the first time Calmer's raised out of the small blind. Look what he's
Oh,
walked
look
into.
at this. You can't escape with ace-5.
Well, Tim's looking
27
very
more.
pained.
27 more.
Is there any reason for him not to re-raise all
Total
in?
bet altogether.
Yeah, he
is
doesn't
42.
want to scare away
So
the
it's 27
customer.
with 15.
I'm going to move on. That's
Raised all in.
How much is it?
40.
Yeah, 40.
Calmer's saying he's forced into a call. I guess there are a lot of hands that Flanders could
No,
have here that
40
Calmer's in good enough shape against to get
Yeah,
a
and
price.
he's got good odds as well. Not
trying to
calling
work
here
out
would have
whether I
been
have
the
to play the
biggest
flop or whether
blunder
I
of the
have to-
day if he didn't do that.
Or whether I have to, whether you got a call, I think you got a
Turns
call
out
for the,
Calmer's
for the
only
40
2 to
to
1
27.
against.
I wasn't messing, I was
But,
just working out the pots.
Tim Flanders in very good shape. And it is Texas Tim all in, however. Not a bad flop. Scally is going to be short stacked unless he hits the bullet. Oh! Wow. Unlucky for Tim, who now, unless it comes 10 or king, is actually going to be out of this tournament.
Should call it in myself.
That's a bit more. Hang on.
Oh, that's not a forced
Come on, you
smile.
can do
That's
it.
a genuine
You can do it.
smile.
You've done it for others. You can do it.
I've never had a bad beat told up on TV yet.
Tim says it's not too late. There's still one card. He didn't hit it.
Sorry, mate.
Played
And,
itself.
uh, Flanders,
Yeah.
who did look very strong throughout most of this heat. Just sort of, you can see that tripped over at the end.
They're full stacks. then.
Well, it was in the beginning of the game. It looked like it was Calmer to beat,
No
and when he
problem, love.
needed the luck the most, he came through. So, yeah, looks strong.
Who will be walking away with a ticket to the semifinal? We'll find out after the break.
I do remember, yeah.
Head to head. And two very strong players, it looks like, have gotten here by different means, Ken. Scally
The last one.
dominated from the start, and Jez came on like wildfire in the middle.
Yeah.
Handshake, please.
Looking at the stats head to head, Jonathan Calmer has won so many more hands and has been more active. But of late, it has been Jez Bailey who's been the tricky one.
Yeah, it feels like it. John Calmer got lucky with ace-5 against Flanders Kings. Otherwise, he wouldn't have so many chips.
How much play is there in heads up? The blinds are 7 and 15. I mean, is it going to come down to who gets the best cards at the end
No,
of the day?
absolutely not. Now they're both got
Oh.
chips. They're about even in chips, so you got a lot of play here. But if somebody starts racing and being very aggressive, you have to make a stand pretty quickly. So then
No
it's a
raise.
crapshoot.
This is what you can expect in heads up hold'em. Both players having nothing. And now they both got something.
Oh, very interesting.
There's 30,000 in there. Up and down straight draw for
Okay.
Jez. 6s and 5s for Calmer.
15,000. Cool.
And a lot of players would have check raised there with Bailey's hand. I would have gotten all the money in.
I don't
guess.
like the check call. I would have check raised for sure.
Is perhaps he trying to sow a seed in Kalmar's hand that he's got a 6?
I don't know.
Well, now Jez Bailey can only win by betting. Is there a bet he can make, I wonder, that'll get Kalmar off the hand?
This is the weakness with just check calling with a draw. Now he has to make a bet because this is really bad. Kalmar played it perfectly.
It was ABC, and Kalmar played it defensively, but he was never going to lay the hand down and has gotten Jez to dump off a few chips.
Yeah. Bailey should have played more aggressively, and now he lost the pot instead of. I think he could have won it if he played more aggressively.
Hey, you're lucky it's not rolling, did range of that.
That'll bring a little smile to Scally's lips, because now he has opened up a bit of a lead. When you're playing heads up, everything is double, isn't it? Even though Kalmar won 50,000 there, he's now got 100,000 advantage.
Exactly. It's a very good point, Jesse. And he's leaning now, but not backward, but forward to the table.
Yes. One thing we have yet to see in this heads up is a pre-flop raise from the button. Why is that?
It's the flow of the game.
Raise
Sometimes when
25,000
somebody
more.
starts to limp, the other guys does it, and then it's like in a multi-table tournaments. There's a new blind and somebody makes the raise, and then everybody makes the raise the same amount.
Was Jez Bailey limping to trap? Kalmar has left himself open to be hung here with 25,000, and Bailey's just called. The push there would have gotten the money.
Yeah.
I think now he's second guessing himself.
Yeah, but he still got position, so I like his hand more than Kalmar's. And now I really like it.
Check.
Check.
Second pair and Scally checks. This feeling the money's going in.
Yeah, he's gonna check raise.
Kalmar's not good enough to get away from this, is he?
He's gonna check raise. You
Raised
heard it, all in.
First bet was 60, raised all in.
Yeah, and,
I mean, it's heads up, you can't fold top pair. I mean, you can't fold top pair.
I'd like to say you can't fold second pair either. I don't know.
Yeah.
It does seem. These are the kind of the biggest hands either has made, and Scally's in trouble now. The only good news for Kalmar here is that he'll be left with 100,000 should he lose this pot. If he catches a 7 or 4, it'll be all over. But all of a sudden, Captain Bailey in strong spot. Only 5 cards in the deck for Scally. These two have mystified each other, and now it is Jez Bailey who is on top of about 500,000.
The tide has definitely turned. No smile, just focus. He knows it's not over yet.
Should I let you bluff again on the river?
I'm a madman's. What I say.
Normally when you slow play that, you miss it completely, don't you? You don't really hit it that well.
I need to flush or something.
Jez from the button again. And looks like he's taking a raise, and he hasn't. No, he's
Call.
calling.
Raise.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Raise. 25,000 more.
This is the first decent hand Bailey had in a while. He's been getting
Calls.
really bad starting hands, so
He's called quickly.
I understand why he calls.
And the raise was enticing. Only 25,000
He had
more.
a great pot odds.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
This is all over.
Yes, it is. Bailey's been waiting for middle pair for a long time, so he can put some chips in the middle.
40,000.
I mean, the right play here is to come over the top for sure.
You slow play him here, Jeff.
And Scally will try and talk him into it.
Asking him, are you slow playing? He's sitting with the kings himself.
Raised.
I'm all in.
Another 40 more, 80.
Minimum raise, all in.
I'll take that off, yeah, thanks.
I don't know if the re-raise is big enough to even take Bailey off the cards if he saw them. It's 80,000. It may be 100,000 more.
Yeah, he calls.
He's called.
Yeah.
Jez Bailey is not all in, but most of the chips in the tournament are in this pot. It is Calmer all in, but with a huge chance to take an unassailable lead.
Yeah, then if he wins this one, I think it's almost over.
Jack or 8 is what Jez Bailey needs to get out of the rabbit hole. Diamonds are not going to be a factor. Is it a bad beat? Will the kings hold? Oh! The snowmen have ended it!
It's all over.
Jez Bailey, Captain Jez Bailey going through the semis. And
yeah, no worries, well done.
Scally basically thrashed him in the heads up and is walking away with a broke ass.
Probably blew it
Yeah,
earlier.
that's poker.
I should have finished it earlier, but got a bit crazy that 7-4.
That last hand, the Cowboys and Calmer played the trap well. The money went in on the flop. Bailey was behind, but on the river, the third snowman, making it a cold day in Scallyville. Off you go. What an exciting finish. Jez Bailey, congratulations. What a way to win at the end there.
Yeah, well, as I said in my earlier interview, I'd rather be lucky than good. And that's the case of that last stand for sure.
Jonathan, Scally, commiserations. What a well-played heat. I mean, from the beginning with those that 4 of a kind, it was just like you were all over that table.
Yeah, just don't get the luck at the crucial times, unfortunately. I did get lucky on Tim, so I can't complain too much, but I wasn't out of the game then. I still had well over 100,000 chips if I'd have lost, but it's one of them. There's a lot of luck involved in the game, and you just got to get used to it, unfortunately.
Well, Jez, you've tried this format a couple times. Now you're through to the semi-final stages for the first time. What's your plan from here?
I've no plan really. I'll just continue and see how the cards turn out and make a decision from then. But no definite strategy. Just go with the flow, as I say.
Well, best of luck in the semis. It's Captain Jez Bailey through to the semifinals.
This has been a cracker of a game. Jez Bailey proved that if you have the skill and the desire to win, you'll be walking away with a seat in the semifinal and a shot at winning the $125,000 prize. Join us next time for more of this. The PartyPoker.com European Open 3.